At the height of America's UFO fascination, Project Blue Book served as the official channel for probing the unknown, far beyond just the metallic glints of unidentified flying objects. This project wasn't merely about spotting saucers. It encapsulated a range of phenomena that pushed the boundaries of what mid-20th century minds could fathom. Tucked among reports of celestial lights and UFOs that halted engines, there lurked a tantalizing possibility. Could Bigfoot, the elusive behemoth of American lore, be a part of a much larger cosmic mystery? Picture a dimly lit office, the air thick with the scent of old paper, where a faded report sits quietly in a drawer, suggesting a link between Bigfoot sightings and mysterious lights from above. What if Bigfoot were not merely an unexplained oddity of nature, but a herald from beyond our understanding? The notion that Bigfoot might be extraterrestrial recasts every enigmatic footprint and unexplained rustle in the forest as a potential otherworldly visit. Imagine further, what if the legendary ability of Bigfoot to evade capture was not mere stealth, but a manifestation of trans-dimensional travel, a skill possibly shared by distant cosmic entities? This fusion of alien life and Bigfoot lore under the vast, secretive umbrella of Project Blue Book does more than just challenge our earthly comprehension. It invites us into the deep woods with a newfound awareness, amidst whispers of not just earthly secrets, but also celestial mysteries. This narrative, woven with the enticing threads of conspiracy and the allure of the unknown, transforms the dusty archives of Project Blue Book into a compelling saga that blurs the line between myth and reality, challenging both believers and skeptics to wonder, what if? Bigfoot encounters and mysteries. I've always maintained my belief in the existence of Sasquatch, despite the skepticism and outright mockery from others. Similarly, I am convinced that beings from other worlds are among us and have been for some time. What truly baffles me, however, is the persistent silence from our government. Why won't they disclose the truth? We are capable of handling it. We're not fools. It's high time for transparency and honesty. We deserve to know what's really out there.
Growing up in rural America during the 1960s, I recall one peculiar Sunday night. Around 9 p.m., after my family had just settled into bed, a blazing light suddenly filled the room I shared with my brother. With the summer heat, our windows were wide open, pulling back the thin curtain to reveal a massive reddish-orange sphere hovering about 200 feet in the air. It slowly descended into the ground between our house and my uncle's, across a large cow pasture. The light was so intense it felt like a spotlight turned inside our room. The spectacle lasted between 5 to 10 minutes before it completely vanished into the earth. Curious, the next day my cousin and I scoured the pasture for any traces, but found none, despite the object's molten appearance. In the following months and years, our area experienced several bizarre occurrences. One night, as my brother and his friend were frog hunting across the road where the object had descended, their horses became extremely agitated. Suddenly, a gigantic figure, at least 8 feet tall, pushed through the cedar trees across the pond. The sight was so terrifying that they fled the scene immediately. We had never heard of Bigfoot back then, but these incidents seemed to suggest something otherworldly had touched our land.
Years later, in the 90s, a similar episode unfolded during a school camping trip in the province of Catanduan, Quezon, Philippines. Stranded by a vehicle breakdown, we observed a group of slow-moving colored lights near a hill after sunset. These orbs merged and changed colors, creating a spectacle of quiet awe and fear among us. Though we pointed it out to our teachers, their only response was to pray and ignore the phenomena. This experience stayed with me, hidden until I shared it with my wife decades later.
Another profound encounter happened while camping outside Scotts Mills, Oregon. One morning, a harrowing scream resembling a mix of a mountain lion and a bugling elk echoed around us. This sound escalated into a series of loud, intimidating barks that terrified everyone. The incident was so intense that one of our group fired shots into the air, prompting us to hastily abandon the camp. The memory of that scream lingers as a haunting reminder of the mysterious forces residing in these woods.
As a Native American from Washington, with Yakima, Nez Perce, and Grand Ronde heritage, I have my own tale of a combined UFO and Sasquatch sighting, which occurred near Pisco Meadows. After encountering low-flying jets disrupting the wildlife, I spotted 2 UFOs landing on a nearby hillside, with a Sasquatch figure visible just below the crafts. This extraordinary event, captured in a photograph, epitomizes the deep, unresolved mysteries that span both our lands and skies. Sighting reported. August 1998. Occurred approximately in 1982, Blackfeet Reservation, Big Sky Country, Montana. I can hardly remember the date, but I do remember the events leading up to the sighting. It was a very warm fall day when my cousins and myself decided to some hunting on horseback. The area that we hunted was the foothills of the Rockies on the Blackfeet Reservation in Big Sky Country. We had decided halfway into the trip to just take a ride and wait for Lady Luck to bring us something during the ride. All day was pretty good as far as the ride went, but I know that everybody still had the idea of getting a deer on their mind. We had decided to ride him through a brushy trail, hoping to run into some game before we made it home. Most of the day was gone, and the evening sun was warming our backs as we made our way home. As we approached the trailhead, my cousin's horse was reluctant and fought the bridle bit for a while. We thought it was just because of it being greenbroke. Once inside the brush, a good ways into it, our horses started stepping very softly and snorting once in a while as if something didn't agree with sense of smell. I could see the opening of the trail, and it would also be the end of the trail. One of my cousins was just about to say something when our horses began jumping in different directions like they were scared of something. The first thing on all our minds was a bear. We began looking in different directions, trying to find the location of the bear. I don't remember who was the first to sight what it was we saw. I just heard him swear and ask the rest of us to look. We looked in the direction he was pointing and saw this very tall thing running on two legs beside us, and then turned in front of us. The thing crossed the trail in front of us about 40 feet and stopped at the edge of the brush. It just stared at us as if in the same amount of amazement as we were, and then just disappeared into the trees just as fast. The best way I can describe it as probably the hairiest man I have ever saw, well past 6 feet tall. It was hard to determine the size, but the branches that we found broke the next day were from 6 feet to about 8 feet. In some places, some footprint were found in places where the ground was soft. And along the trail, we followed towards the mountains. This was the only sight we had since then, and this was when I was 14 years old. I am now 30, and probably the first one to tell anyone what we saw that day.
These accounts, while separated by years and vast distances, weave a tapestry of the unexplained and the unseen, challenging us to reconsider our place within the cosmos and the mysteries that continue to elude us. If you've been enthralled by these tales of towering creatures and lights beyond our skies, don't let the trail go cold. Like and subscribe to continue this quest with us. Every click illuminates the path. Every subscription brings us closer to unraveling the great cosmic mysteries that wander through the backwoods of America and beyond the stars.